If you're new, Fridays are always committed to breath work. I've been meditating for about 10 years now, and only in the last 3 years have I been really exploring breath work in any significant way. And it is a deeply significant and empowering and transforming practice, not just for like life, but also for the specific intention of meditation. So it can be sort of uncomfortable. It can be challenging, a lot of anxiety. It's just like a lot of new sensation and new ideas of what the body can do. But if this is all very new to you, I just encourage you to take it at your own pace and and yeah, explore and have fun, but stay committed to it. The grief or the awkwardness will be replaced in time with pleasantness, energy, aliveness, and even euphoria. Cool. So, alongside Fridays being committed to breath work, what we've been studying is sort of this emotion, gratitude, and we've been utilizing our practice to uh, reorchestrate personality, which is distinct from the work we've been doing the last 3 months, which was fundamentally to meditate for the sake of meditation and to discover for ourselves what the most enchanting of yogis say is the undying thing, the thing that is outside of the reach of time, outside of the reach of death itself, which is the soul. But now we're being a little bit more practical and approaching gratitude. The difference, what I want you all to feel today is that because we're going to do breath work before we fixate or focus on gratitude, I want to push this suggestion. What should arise according to the philosophies of yoga and pranayama of breath work is that because you do breath work before focusing on gratitude, your capacity to experience and focus on gratitude should be much greater than Monday and Wednesday. And it's because you've collected prana, right? So this life energy. So before we get into the work, I want to highlight a couple ideas. First, I want to talk about the difference between mind and consciousness, which is very helpful to know. The second is understanding what prana, what breath work and vital energy does in relationship to mind and consciousness. And then the third thing we're going to talk about is just a story to help us appreciate the game of focus. And so, mind and consciousness, in yogic philosophy, they are two distinct things. Consciousness is the most intangible experience or phenomenon that we experience within our lives as living organisms. Mind is the play of thoughts and emotions and the play of identity that so many of us know as of ourselves. And the great work of meditation is to recognize the difference between the two, that in the same way that in this moment you're very much aware of me speaking through your device, and there's this space for you to observe me at a distance, when we learn to perceive that space between consciousness and mind, in Sanskrit, chit would be consciousness and mind would be something like buddhi or manas. Once we learn to recognize that difference, it becomes very obvious that as you know that I am not you because I'm sort of speaking out in front of you, that you are not your mind, you are not your body, these dying things, these mortal things, and you are really this consciousness that lays dormant until you recognize it for yourself. And so that's, a super remarkable claim and something worth exploring. So these two things. Prana, right? Pranayam, breath work, gives us the energy to separate mind, right, manas or buddhi, from consciousness, chit, in a more sort of purist approach to meditation. We're just trying to feel this consciousness and rest in that. But in terms of like the pragmatic approach, we're trying to use meditation and use our focus to change our personality so that we can make, better choices in our lives and live in a happier way. Prana at that point becomes energy, power to shoot consciousness through manas, like an arrow sort of zooming through a windy sky, hitting its target despite the turbulence of the environment. And so the more prana we collect by collecting oxygen and CO2, you should find that your consciousness, your pure awareness, should push very easily, cut very easily through all the thoughts that you might have first thing in the morning. Last thing, a story from the Bhagavad Gita. And so the Bhagavad Gita is the Hindu Bible. It's an account of Krishna and Arjuna, God and Prince, conversing to sort of make the powerful choice in relationship to a war that's about to happen. But the story is about when Arjuna is a little child. And so Arjuna and his brothers and his cousins are out in the field with their master Drona, who is sort of like the general of Arjuna's future kingdom. And Drona is teaching the children about archery and warcraft. And so he lines all the kids up. They all get their bows and they all get their arrows. And Drona asks each of them before they aim to shoot this wooden sparrow that he's placed in the tree, "Children, what do you see? What do you see right now? Tell me everything you see." And the kids, all of them, say, "We see the tree, we see the wooden sparrow, we see the sun, we see the clouds, we see the leaves, we see the lizards on the trees." And he gets to Arjuna, and Arjuna's sitting there preparing to like play the game and assume the challenge. And he asks Arjuna, "Arjuna, what do you see?" And Arjuna says, "My lord, all I see is blackness." And Drona steps back, puzzled. What could this mean? "Arjuna, what do you see?" "My lord, all I see is blackness, just blackness." And then Drona pushes Arjuna. "What is this blackness?" "It is the blackness of the bird's eye, inside the bird's eye, the little carved out pupil. All I see is this blackness." And so I hope this gives you a sense of like the degree of focus that Arjuna had and the degree of focus we're aiming to sort of create for ourselves while in practice. When you're doing the breath work, aim to feel the tingling and buzzing sensations, the lightheadedness and dizziness. That is the bird's eye or the blackness of your practice. And then when we shift into focusing onto gratitude, only gratitude, right? Drona asks, "What do you experience today, this Friday meditation?" Only gratitude, only gratitude, only gratitude. Okay, cool. Let's get into this today. Everyone take a comfortable seated position. And so first timers, let's work with our posture. Everyone tilt your hips forward. So feel the tailbone start to lift up away from the floor or the cushion or your chair or the couch. And as your hips tilt forward, you should feel activation and a little stress in your inner thighs, hamstrings, and hip creases because these muscles are tightening to draw the hips into this anterior tilt. And now your pelvis is like a pot, flat and stable. And the spine is like a shoot of bamboo growing up this pot. Rest your wrists firmly on your knees. Spread your fingers very wide. Make as much space as you can between each of the fingertips. Straighten your arms very, very much and start to flex your triceps, the back of your upper arms. Pull the shoulder blades down. Now, quickly, intuitively, bring a random finger to each thumb and place that finger delicately on the thumb. Imagine you are rolling a single grain of sand. And feel that maybe the hips and the torso and the arms are taut with tension and rigidity. The fingertips, the mudra, is gentle. But in its gentleness, it is distinct. Shut your jaw, press your tongue into the back of your two front teeth to relax your facial muscles, and then tilt your chin in slightly to decompress the base of the skull. And for a couple moments, just organize the spine so that it is as straight as possible. And now start to breathe deeply. Breathe into the belly, swell into the chest, and then breathe all the way into the base of the throat and collarbone. As you inhale, feel that your back and your sides also inflate. As you exhale, feel the entire torso and abdomen contract symmetrically into your center line. As you exhale, the detail is pull the spine or pull the belly up towards the spine. And as you're exhaling, yanking the belly in, you actually sit up taller. Now, even if you're familiar with all of these fundamental steps, notice that your posture, your stillness, creates a little anxiety. It's a minuscule challenge to overcome, but it still wakes you up enough to overcome a challenge. And now the slow breathing The inhale wakes you up as you pull oxygen in, but the exhale, more importantly, calms you down, which balances out the stress of your techniques. And consider at this point on a physical level that meditation is purely the conscious balancing and activation of the nervous system, the sympathetic and parasympathetic. So feel that right now. I am both awake, active, maybe a little anxious, but also calm, tranquil. Now quickly try to recognize the difference between mind, either manas or buddhi in Sanskrit, and chit, consciousness, by recognizing your thought process. Acknowledge what you're thinking about in terms of this meditation, in terms of this moment. I like it, I don't like it, I get it, I don't get it, I feel great, I don't feel so good today. And so that is manas or buddhi, that's the mind, but it's playing out in front of you in the same way that my voice is moving through your speakers in front of you. Focus a little more, create that space, mind and consciousness. And so this highly detailed yet deceptively difficult inner work, as subtle as it seems, proves uniquely beneficial for us as individuals. Now what we're going to do is get into some breath techniques so that when we focus on gratitude, we can extend that consciousness like an arrow through a still and windless sky directly into gratitude. The breath techniques are two: Kumbhaka and Bhastrika. Kumbhaka, inhale, hold your breath, exhale, hold your breath. We'll do this for about 5 minutes. And then Kumbhaka is super big inhales, super big exhales. You're pretty much hyperventilating, pulling in as much oxygen into the body as possible. Let's take 3 steady breaths, and I just want you to stretch your lungs. Breathe all the way into the belly, inflate into the left and right side of the rib cage. Feel free to maneuver or wiggle your spine and torso to get into these hidden little pockets. Deep inhales, deep exhales. All right, when you're ready, breath retention. You're going to inhale, hold your breath, exhale, hold your breath. Moderate intensity, count the length of your natural inhale. Let's say it's a 6 count. Hold your breath for 6, exhale for 6, and again, hold your breath for 6. I would encourage maximum intensity. Inhale as slowly as you possibly can. Hold your breath for as long as you possibly can. Exhale as slowly as you possibly can. Hold your breath for as long as you possibly can. Okay, just 5 minutes here. Like Arjuna telling his lord Drona, his teacher of archery and warcraft, all I see is the black of the bird's pupil. Look past the fear, past the discomfort, and only experience, only see the tingling and aliveness and excitement and wakefulness that comes from holding your breath and collecting CO2. Let the body get hot. Let the nerves panic. This is wonderfully good for you, even though it's hard. Good work. Relax the muscles. Tolerate and absorb. Your body's becoming more acidic. That's what you're feeling. As you hold your breath longer than your muscles want to, your muscles start to tighten. They're trying to force the lungs to breathe, force the body back into its biological comfort zone. That's it. Notice the difference. What's the mind saying? I want to do this. I don't want to do this. This is strange. This is enlivening. I love. I hate. And then consciousness. Just observing. Good work. Keep holding. Good work. Keep holding. Now sift through the fear and the anxiety. That's your sympathetic nervous system, your fight or flight response, literally affecting your thoughts. Hacking your positivity and inspiration to pieces. Sift through that and feel that as you hold your breath, you're uniquely awake. It's hot, fiery. You're becoming acidic. And this is the fire of yoga. This is what the ancient yogis were explaining when they spoke of tapas, the heat of breathwork. As you become more acidic, the hemoglobin, your blood, your red blood cells, are dumping out their reserves of oxygen. This is called the Bohr effect. This also plays a part in that feeling of cellular aliveness. So for the last minute, push yourself wherever you are and appreciate that you are dumping reserves of oxygen into your tissues, collecting prana, so that you can shoot consciousness through the clouds and the waves of your thoughts to play the game of meditation powerfully. One more minute. Ten. Wherever you are, keep holding your breath. 9. 8. You got it. 7. 6. 5. If you're at the edge, start to tighten your muscles. 4. 3. 2. Breathe mindfully through the nose. Feels good. Mindfully through the nose. No thoughts. Just feel tingling, buzzing, lightheadedness, dizziness, aliveness. All right, second breath technique for not too long, just 2 minutes here. Open your mouth and start inhaling deeply but slowly through the mouth. And start to measure the air as it fills up your lungs. 25%, 50%, 75%, 100%. And measure as you exhale and the air is emptied from your lungs. 75, 50, 25. So you're going to inhale as fast as possible to 110%, a little more than you think you can. Exhale only to 50%. Inhale through the mouth 110%, exhale 50%. Starting now, 2 minutes, as fast as possible. Good work. And so the first effect, again, is negative thoughts. This is strange. I don't like this. This doesn't feel right. Or negative thoughts that are related to things that have nothing to do with your meditation, insecurities, fears, and worries. Notice if those start to sprout up. That is the consequence of your sympathetic nervous system being triggered because you're breathing like there is a monster right behind you. 110% inhale, 50% exhale. Tighten the cross of your legs, tilt your hips forward, lengthen the spine, manage your pose. Halfway there. The next phase, physical sensation. Again, tingling, buzzing, dizziness, and lightheadedness. Yogis have felt this for centuries and thought that this sensation was life energy. And they were right. It's oxygen. All right, let's change the ratio. 110% inhale, 100% exhale. 110 inhale, 100 exhale. 20 more seconds. Slow it down, deeper breaths. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, very important. Full exhale, empty your lungs, hold your breath. Nothing in your lungs. Hold the breath. Nothing in your lungs. Rebuild your posture, relax your muscles. I want you to hold your breath for as long as you can. Exhale, hold the breath, all done with the technique. Hold your breath for as long as you can. When you need to, start to breathe very mindfully through the nose. Think about a peaceful old Buddhist monk. Patient, effortless, pleasurable. And once you start breathing, think of gratitude. Nothing but gratitude. Be thankful for anything and everything. Anywhere the mind goes, thank you. Thank you for my bills. Thank you for my flat tire. Thank you for my home. Thank you for my body. Thank you for time itself. Thank you for computers. Thank you for sound. Thank you, thank you, thank you. refocus. Test your consciousness. Test your sentience. How much control do you actually have over the mind? Find gratitude within your psyche. It's there. And strike it. Use the aliveness and wakefulness of your body, your cells. So yogis believe that what we are fundamentally experiencing as existence is an interaction between two core and eternal constructs: Atman, soul or self or consciousness, and then Brahman, reality. Reality is veiled in what they know of as Maya. Maya is the illusion of form, an illusion that plays itself out through time and change. So everything that has a form is changing and flowing from one state to the next, and in that, unreal. But this is what we interact with. So feel your body as an expression of this illusory world, not yours but borrowed, in front of you, not within you, and be thankful for it. And then feel the aliveness of this body, animated, sensitive. A vehicle of both pleasure and pain. Observe that this aliveness, these tingling sensations, also play out in front of you, right next to you, but are also not within you. Be thankful for them. Slow down the breath. And now the mind, the interpreter, the analyzer that judges everything. These sensations, the body, the world, the future, the past. Thoughts, emotions, memories, fantasies. Recognize this mind and be thankful for it. Now bring your hands to heart center. Increase your sincerity and presence. Relax your shoulder blades as if this was the climax. And so now your consciousness, you're deep inside yourself, and everything that is not this consciousness, everything that you're aware of, your mind is first, the sensations are second, the body is third, and then the whole world. All of those things are one thing. All of that is Brahman, hiding itself in infinite forms through Maya. So I'd like you to imagine that you're just sitting eye to eye as consciousness with the world, as Atman looking at Brahman. And in that, become deeply grateful for this relationship, grateful for existence itself, for duality, me and life. What a pair. Lift your thumb knuckles to third eye center. Press your thumbs into the skin of your forehead and just focus on the sensation. So we're back to pure technique. Try to notice the difference between the left thumb knuckle and the right thumb knuckle. Try to notice the little space between the two. And again, like Arjuna telling Drona, his lord, his teacher, all I see is blackness. All I feel is this sensation. All I know is this sensation. My thumbs touching my forehead. Deepen the focus for 5, 4, 3. Take a full breath in, deepen the focus. Full breath out, keep your hands where they are, deepen the focus. Hold your breath with nothing in your lungs. Release your wrists to your knees. Super strong posture. Hold your breath for as long as possible. Keep the eyes closed. When you need to inhale, keep the eyes closed and just inhale. Collect that oxygen or that CO2. Set the body on fire to wake the mind and consciousness up. Holding, holding, holding. When you need to breathe, just through the nose, nothing changes. All right, if you're still holding your breath, as you inhale, slowly open your eyes, keep your body as it is, and just notice. The experience of meditation changes. Exhale, close your eyes. One more time, inhale, open your eyes. Exhale, close your eyes. Remember gratitude. Okay, as you inhale, open your eyes, and just repeat in the mind, I am still meditating. And as the eyes open out into your room, out into your space, that is still Maya, that is still Brahman. For a moment, try to project that love and gratitude, that idea of expansiveness or profundity out into your really ordinary room, the room you know. That this is also the universe, this is also reality itself. All right. Good work, everyone. Hope you enjoyed that. Great way to start your Friday. Blessings. And just before we go, it's like, especially when we get into meditation as a pragmatic approach, to like reshape identity, it's like that's a 24-hour thing. Try to think of it that way, that for the rest of your day, you will be grateful by repeating the mantra, or just remembering that that might be the deeper game of it all. Not the errands, not the conversations, none of that. How we conduct ourselves. And if we can really sort of hold ourselves to the standard that the yogis and the Brahman, all of these sort of characters hoped for, and inspired us to be, what we would see as we looked out into the world, the way Arjuna saw the blackness of the sparrow's pupil, we would see Brahman. We would just see reality itself playing out in front of us. And that is a very, very easy thing to be deeply grateful for.